Are you guys able to see me and hear me clearly, guys? What's up? What's up, everybody? All well? Yeah? Good evening, guys. Yep, we have started. So, this is CAT 2025 slot 1. This series we will be doing all moderate sets. So, we've already completed all the easy level sets. That is from 2025. From each of the slots, we've identified 2 easy sets in each. So 6 sets we've already completed. Now we're moving towards the moderate level sets. Yes? Good evening. Oh, cheers, Bhavni. Let's go. Geet, let's not get there, no? Let's not get there. We all know who won the transfer war. So probably Madrid would be looking at some trophies this season at least. Yeah. My voice does look changed because I am not well. I have a very bad flu, but I didn't want to push this any further because we've already, I think due to some reasons, we had to push this session a little while ago. I didn't want to push this any further, so let's get into this. Yes? Cheers, everybody. Let's go. So let's start with the moderate level sets. Oh, hey. Hi, Ved. Hey, tell him a hi from my end again, okay? Cheers, everybody. Why Ignite batch got cancelled? I don't think the batch got cancelled. Carry Harry Gaming. Please check the schedule. Huh? Alright, let's go. So we'll start with moderate level sets. Now, moderate level sets are those which you can do if you are comfortable with these concepts, right? And the set that we are going to look at today is the import export one, yeah, which is the import export set from CAT 2025 slot 1, which is actually an easy level one if you are very good at reading data, but I've still put it under moderate because some of us would not be very comfortable with getting the data from the charts, no? Yeah, let's go. So today we are going to look at data interpretation based set, which is purely based on radar chart and bar graph. Now this is very rare when we come across a pure DI set, but we have noticed pure DI sets being asked in 2024 also and 2025 also, and this is one of them. Yeah, so I am assuming you all are aware of this set. How many of you have seen this set? How many of you have solved this set? Chandralekha, done. We will. Geet, you've seen this set. Very good. How many of you have tried solving it? You've solved it, Rahul. Very good. Then I think this is going to be more like a revision for you. Let's go. You're seeing this for the first time, Adventure Artist. Alright, let's read this. Let's understand what's given here, okay? So there are 5 countries that engage in trade with each other. 5 countries. Each country levies import tariffs. So be very careful. This is import tariffs, okay, on the other country. So what do you mean by import tariff? When country X is getting some product from country Y, right? So for country X, it's an import because we're getting it from outside, but for country Y, it's an export because it's sending the product outside its country, okay? The import tariff levied by country X on country Y is calculated by multiplying the corresponding tariff percentage with the total imports of country X from country Y. So we'll just crack this one. Yeah, let's understand. So let's say that this is import tariff is levied by country X. So country Y is sending some product to country X. So X becomes the importer. Yes, X becomes the importer. Okay. And Y becomes the exporter. Alright. We don't know, and technically we don't care what tariff or what charges Y applies on its own products. We don't care about it. The whole set is based upon the import tariff. So what X does is, X will apply some percentage of the import value as a tariff. Understanding this? So X, let's say X is applying some 20% tariff. Yeah. So if it ends up sending, let's say $100 billion worth products, then 20% on that $100 billion would be how much? $20 billion, right? So this value is your import tariff as a value, and this is import tariff as a percentage. Now in between these two, what is this value, guys? This is the value of the import. Okay, this is what they have also mentioned here in the situation. Understood? Yes, I hope this is clear. Yeah, okay. The radar chart below, in this case on the right side, the radar chart below depicts different import tariff percentages charged by each of the 5 countries on the others. So here what we have, this is a radar chart where we have what import tariff as a percentage they are applying on each of the countries. We have an example here. For example, US, which is the blue line in this given chart. Yes, US is the blue line. So can you see blue line? Now we can notice that the blue line is not complete, right? Because US is not going to apply tariff on its own products because its own product is not being imported. I hope you are understanding. If US is manufacturing something or assembling or whatever, if it's their own product, then they can't apply import tariff on it because they're not importing it. That's why for US is not applying any tariff. But for the other countries, it's charging 20%, 40%, 30% and 30% import tariff percentages on imports from France, India, Japan and UK respectively. So from here, can we get each of these values? Let's see. So the first, are you able to see this? Is this visible? Yeah, you might have to increase the brightness of your screen. Then you will be able to see these minute lines, right? These minor lines that are given. So the inner value is 0%. This is 0%. The first radar here is 10%. The second is 20. The third is 30, and then 40, and then 50 on the outside. Okay. So US is what line? Blue colored line. So US is applying on France how much? This is 0, 10, 20. So on France it is applying 20%. Yes. Products imported from India, it's applying 40% tariff. Products imported from Japan, it's applying how much? 30% tariff. And products imported from UK, it's again applying how much? 0, 10, 20, 30%. Can we verify this here? 20, 40, 30, 30. 20, 40, 30, 30. Are you able to get this, guys? Because US is not going to apply any tariff on its own product, so here it won't come anywhere at all. It should technically come back to 0, but that doesn't exist only, so they're not bringing it back to 0. I hope this is clear. Yeah. In the exam, the radar chart was not visible. Aritra, you do have the option to zoom. I don't know if you've checked that, but there is an option to zoom the charts. If you move the cursor on the chart and click on it, you will find that magnifying glass thing. You can zoom on it and also check. Yeah. Yeah, a radar chart, another name for a radar chart is a spider chart. Yes, Tanisha. Yeah. So this way I can get all the values, right? I can get what US is applying on, France, on India, on Japan and on UK. Same way for France, I can find out what tariff is being applied on US. Obviously France will not be applying any import tariff on France, but for India, Japan and UK I can do that. Same way for India, same way for Japan, same way for UK. Yeah. So percentage values are given here in this graph. In this radar chart, percentage values are given. We can get it from there. Next they are saying the bar chart, right? The bar graph here, the bar chart depicts the import tariffs levied by each country on the other countries. For example, US charged import tariff of 3 billion USD on UK. So US is red color, but red is what it is, what the other countries applying on, right? The tariff. But US for UK, which is purple bar for in this situation, is how much? Between 2 and 4, which is 3. I hope this is clear, yeah? Do you get this, guys, everybody? So 3 billion USD, yeah? So can I get the actual import value then? Yes, I know that US is applying how much? 30%. So US is applying 30% on the import value. Let me call it X for now, okay? That 30% of tariff value on X is nothing but $3 billion. Yes. So can you tell me what is this X? This X is nothing but the total import value that UK is sending to US. UK is sending to US. This is UK, this is US. I hope this makes sense, yeah? So UK sending to US is how much? If 30% is 3 billion, then how much are they sending it for? 10 billion. Yeah, so the total product value or the total import value is 10 billion. 10 billion's 30% is the tax that they are applying on. That is, tariff applied on 10 billion is 30%, which is 3 billion. Are you getting the link now? So are you able to link between the radar chart and the bar graph? Technically, they are both giving us the same value only. This is giving in terms of percentage. This is giving in terms of the actual value in $1 billion. Yeah. This whole chart, like you see this, right? This whole meeting could have been an email. This whole chart could have been a table. But then why should they spoon feed you the data, right? Or why would they could have put this whole thing in a single bar graph, or they could have put this in a pie chart or something, but then things would have been complicated, because here we have how many? 20 values. 20 values we have in terms of percentage, and the same 20 values 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4, same 20 values we have in US billion dollars. Got it? I hope you are understanding. Yes, Ved, simple, that's it. Whatever is given in percentage here is given in value here. So we can find out the total import value also. Yeah. So 20 values you will get from here, 20 values you will get from here. And if you do 20 pieces of calculation, you can get all the import values. But do you really need that much? That's the big question, right? Do you really need that much value? Do you need all 20 values? So we'll know that when we have a look at the question. Assume that imports from one country to another equals exports from the latter to the former. So what they're saying, if X is importing from Y, that is the same as Y exporting to X. Getting this? X importing from Y is the same as Y exporting to X. I hope that's clear. Yeah. And then they have introduced a new term. $10 billion is the total amount being imported. Correct. Yes, correct, Ved. Exactly. So this $10 billion is the worth of the products or whatever being imported into US from UK. Correct. Very good. Yeah. So this is what? UK exporting to US, or the same thing, right? US importing from UK. Both mean the same, no? UK exporting to US, UK is giving to US, US is receiving from UK. This is this value. Okay. So 20 pieces of data from here, 20 pieces of data from here, and 20 calculations if we do, we have the values. But if we need all the 20, then do it. Otherwise, we'll work through with the given data. Now you tell me, should we make a table for this or no? Should I make a table for this, or should I take the data wherever required? You tell me, guys. Is this an easy chart to read? Is this an easy chart to read? I'll give it, yeah. This is an easy chart to read, no complications. But is this an easy chart to read? Definitely not. High chances for you to get confused, high chances for you to read this as 30 instead of 20. Yes, you don't want that risk, because this is one of those sets that has a very high return. Yes, very high return. The amount of time that you spend, you can capture all the 4 questions. So this set had 4 questions, 1, 2, 3, 4. All 4 are MCQ, and you could have gotten all 4 into your pocket. But The thing is, do you want to directly take data from the chart or do you want to make a table? I personally would recommend, whenever you get a weird kind of a chart, which we call it as miscellaneous charts, whenever you get a weird kind of a chart, end up making the table. That might cost you another extra minute or two, yes, maybe 3 minutes, 4 minutes also, but then you will get the return of that, right? Because you will be able to quickly do the questions. You will take lesser time for each question. So my suggestion would be, yes, make the table. In fact, if you can, make the table for this bar graph also and get rid of all the graphs. You have your table in your worksheet, in your rough sheet you will have the table. Get the data from the table, do the calculation, get this over with. Yeah, let's have a look at exactly Ved. So only because there's 20 values here, that's why we are calling this as a moderate. Otherwise, if this would have been like say 3 countries, then the number of values would have been really less. So that would have fallen into an easy one. Yeah. So let's have a look at the questions now. How much is Japan's export to India worth is a definite question, and we have definite answers also. All good, no, nothing wrong. Which among the following is the highest? So we have to compare of the 4 options which is highest. Again here they are being very specific. They are saying imports by US from France, exports by Japan to UK, exports by France to Japan, imports by France from India. 4 values only I need. I need to calculate only 4 values and just compare which is the highest. I don't want all the 20 values. Although an indefinite question, but because it's comparison, that's why. What is the trade surplus? So trade surplus or trade deficit, what do you mean by that? The trade surplus of country X with country Y is defined as follows. So trade surplus is nothing but exports from country X to country Y minus imports to country X from country Y. What X is sending to Y, what Y is sending to X, the difference between that is the deficit. Okay, so that we can calculate very easily. US to UK, UK to US, trade deficit or trade surplus we can easily identify. Yes, cool guys. Perfect. So this is also a definite question. And the last one, among France and UK, who has or have trade surpluses with US? So which country among France and UK have a trade surplus? Yes, trade surplus with US. Look at the options. None of these, only UK, only France, or both of these. Again a simple one. Yeah, although we'll call it indefinite, but it's a definite one only. Indefinite because of the kind of options, but otherwise it's all definite. So we have all the data. We just have to be quick on our fingers when it comes to the calculation bit. Works? Yes. Let's go. So the first task I want to do is give you some time to have a look at the table, look at the charts. Yes, and if you can make the table, please do that. Yeah, I would strongly recommend you to make a table. Go ahead, make a table. I'll give you about 2 minutes, I think should be sufficient for you to quickly make the table. Let's go guys. 2 minutes on the timer. Make the table. That's why I've put the charts on Zoom here. Okay, I've zoomed up the charts. You let me know if there's any part of the chart that is not very clearly visible. If you want, I'll also increase the brightness so that you can see the minor grid lines also quite clearly. Yeah, now you are able to see it, no? Let's go guys. 2 minutes on the clock. Okay, let's go. Once you're done, please drop a done in the chat so that we can go ahead and answer the questions. Atharva is done. Very good, Athar. Superb. Others? Hi, Jigyanshu. Jigyanshu, what easy, don't look at easy ways of tackling them, look at sustainable ways of tackling them. Yeah, read, understand what the situation is, identify if it's relevant to a topic that we've already seen or a similar set that we have seen, and use that approach. Hope that helps, man. Jigyanshu. Done? Everybody's done? So I have Atharv, Santosh and Rahul saying done. How about others? Okay. Let's do it together as well now. Yeah, let's do it together. So what the kind of table that I've made is I made space for percentage wise also and $billion wise also, so that I don't have to look at either of the charts later. When I'm looking at the question, I will focus only on the question because the data is here and right in front of my face. Yes, I don't want to keep juggling between the screen. Within the screen also I'll have to juggle between this graph and then this graph and then take down the data and do the calculation. That's going to increase the amount of time per question. So what I'm doing is, I know all of these questions deal with these 20 values only, technically 40 values. So I'll just invest some time here. Yes, take down the values here and get it over with. Okay, so I have clearly signified, I've already mentioned that these are the importers and these are the exporters. So US is not going to import anything from US, that's why I've put a dash. Same way France is not going to import anything from France, India from India, Japan from Japan and UK from UK. Okay, yeah. So let's start with US importing in terms of percentage. Now whenever you deal with these kind of charts, follow the line. Yeah, follow the line. Yes, go for the lines and the data will follow, my brother. Okay, yeah, so let's go. So US is the blue line. Yes, we already have that data given in the questions, but just to verify, this is going to be how much? This is 0, 10, 20. So 20%. Then to India, it's how much? This is 50, so this would be 40%. Then to Japan is 30 and UK is 30. So 30 and 30. So blue line is done. Yeah. Next we can pick up in France. France, let's pick up the red line. Okay. So France to US is how much? Exactly 30%. So France is importing. So basically US sending the goods to France, and France is levying this 30% tariff on US products. Getting this? Next, if I look at say France on France doesn't exist, France on India is again 40%. Next, France on Japan is 30%. Next, France on UK is again 40%. Are you feeling this, guys? All data makes sense, no? Let's go for India now. India is the green line. Yes. So India to US is 40%. India applying on US. India applying on US. So India on US is 40. India on France is 50. India on India nil. India on Japan is going to be how much? 50 again. And India on UK. India on UK is how much? 0, 10, 20. Yes, do the same thing for Japan. Japan is the yellow line. So 40, then this is 20, so 40%. Then on France it is 20%. Yes, on India it is 50%. And then on UK products it is how much? 40%. Yeah, and for the last bit for UK is what? White line. So UK on US is 20%. UK on France is also 20%, 0, 10, 20, 30% in fact. UK on India is 50, 40, 30 again. UK on Japan is 50, 40 and nil on UK. Is this graph okay, guys? So this chart is done. I don't have to look at this anymore. Yeah. Now I'll just quickly shift my focus here. Yeah. Yeah, Rishikesh. Now we'll quickly shift the focus here. So what is this? If you have doubts, look at the example again. Yeah. So what have they told? The bar chart depicts the import tariffs levied by each country on the other country. For example, US has charged the tariff of 3 billion on UK. Yes. So US is charging 3 billion on UK. Hope you're getting this. Yes. So US on UK is 3 billion. I hope you're understanding this. So same way, US on US is not there. US and France is 6. US on France is 6. US on India is 4.5. US on Japan, Japan is the light blue, which is 7. And then 3. Yeah, 6, 4.5, 7 and 3. Yeah. Same thing can we do with France. So France, US, on US it will be applying a 5.5 billion tariff. On India it has applied a 6.5 billion tariff. On Japan it has applied a 4 billion tariff. And on UK it has applied a 4.5 billion tariff. This could be a very boring part. Yes, of the lecture also this is a very boring part. While you're solving also this would be a very boring part. But once we get through this boring part, then things start looking up for us, right? After that, things become interesting. Yes. Let's do the same thing for India now. India is applying 9 billion on US, 5 billion on France, 3.5 on Japan, and 5 on UK. Let's do for Japan. On US it is applying 4 billion. On France it's applying how much? 3 billion. Then on India it's applying 8 billion. And on UK it is applying 3 billion. For the last UK, let's go. This is between 2 and 3, so 2.5. Then we have 4. Then we have 3, then we have 6. Done, guys? Yeah, everything sorted. So now I don't have any use for this chart also and of this chart also. So I can get rid of them and start focusing purely on the questions. That way I will not make any mistake. At least from the data point of view, I have not made any mistake. From the calculation, then it's on us. Silly mistakes done during the calculation, that's our fault. But otherwise, from data point of view, we are already sorted. Okay. Now let's go to the questions. Yes, we have all the data. Start with the first question. How much is Japan's export to India? So Japan is the exporter. Yes, to India. Who is the importer? So basically, who will be applying the tax, the tariff? India would be applying the tariff on products from Japan. So India applying the tariff, that is India is the importer, on Japan is how much? 50%, which is nothing but $3.5 billion. Yes, so 50% of the import value, let me call it IV, import value is how much? $3.5 billion. So obviously what happens, the import value is how much? They're asking what is the worth of the import, which is 7 billion. Do we have $7 billion? Yes, we have. Option A. Very simple. Yes. Rahul, that's what I said, buddy. Do you really want all 20 values? That's the question. Are the questions judging all the 20 values any place? No, right? Individually only. Here also they are asking individually only. Here also individual. Here also individual. So you don't really have to do that. Okay. You just need selected values. Just go for those. No, why make another column and sit and do all 20 calculations? Waste of time. I hope that makes sense. Done, everybody? Atharva, the other Atharva, please check. C16 is wrong. C16 is wrong. Maybe you are doing on Japan, India. Yeah. If you have done 60, guys, if you have done 16 billion, then it's a mistake. This is wrong. 50% is 8 billion. That would be wrong. That would be Japan. is the importer, India is the exporter, and Japan applying import tariff on India's products. No, that's not what is asked. Okay, Atharva? So if you said C, this would be a trap. Done, guys? Shall we move on? Next question. Simple, no? Try the second one now, guys. Which among the following is the highest? So now I need just 4 values. Yeah, I just need 4 values. Highlight those 4 values, find out those values, compare them, and that's it. Rishikesh, that's why we have the main reason why we analyze the questions is to identify that only. Nobody. If the questions are not asking for overall total, then we don't need overall total. Only if they ask, then we will do it. No, why do extra task which we will not get the return for? You're doing some extra work. Let's say you're working at a job and you're doing some extra work, but you know that there's not going to be any reward for it, whether monetary reward or recognition. Why do it at all? If nobody is going to witness that, then what's the point of it? No, same logic. Let's go, guys. Try this. So imports by US from France. Import is US from France. Yes. So 20% is 6 billion. 20% is 6 billion. So what will be the overall value, guys? 30 billion. Do you agree, guys? Imports by US from France. Import by US, export by France. Yes. This is 30 billion. Let's look at this. Exports by France to Japan. Export is France. Import is Japan. So export is France. Import is Japan is this. 30. This is option A. This is option B. Okay. 30% is 3 billion. So if 30% is 3 billion, then the overall value is how much? 10 billion. Exports by Japan to UK. Exports Japan, import is UK, which is this one. Yes, 40% is 6. 40% of what value will be 6 is the question. So you basically need 6 by 0.4. Yeah, which is how much? 15. No? 15 billions 40%. 15 billions 40% is 6 billion. Okay. And the last one is what? Imports by France from India. So by France from India is here. 40% is 6.5. 40% is 6.5. So 40% of the import value is 6.5. So the import value will be 6.5 billion divided by 40%. Yeah. This is going to be in what range, guys? 16 to 15 to 16. Yes, because 60%, 16 would have been 6.4. So this is somewhere around 16. We don't want the actual value, we just want to compare. We know by comparison, the first one is the highest. That's our answer. Finish. We don't even need the actual value, no? Just approximate. Get a close enough value. 0.4 into 16 would have been 6.4 because 16 4 times is 64. So 0.4 into 16 would have been 6.4. This is 6.5. The 0.1 extra. That's it. Okay. Done. Third question. What is the trade surplus or trade deficit of India with UK? So what do we have to see? We have to see both ways. I have to see India sending to UK and I have to see UK sending to India. So here India would be the exporter, UK would be the importer. Here UK would be the exporter and India would be the importer. Yes. So India being the exporter, UK being the importer is here. India being the importer, India being the exporter and UK being the importer is 30% on 3. 30% on 3. What is 30%? That will give you 3. 30% of what? 10 will give you 3. So this is 10. So this one is 10. And what about this one? UK is the exporter and India is the importer. So here 20% is 5. 20% of some value is 5. 20% of what value will be 5? 20% of 25 would be 5. Correct? Now my question to you is, we know that the difference is 15. So it's obviously not option B and it's obviously not option C. But option A and option D both have 15 million. So should it be A or should it be D? So verify it again from the question. They have defined it very clearly. They're saying surplus of country X with country Y. Of country X is what? Exports from X to Y. X is sending to Y, from X to Y. So here in the question they are asking what? Of India. Of India. So India becomes X for us and UK becomes Y for us. Hope that makes sense. Yes. So India becomes X, UK becomes Y. So export from X to Y. So India to UK compared to imports from India to UK. Exports from India to UK, imports from India to UK. So here India to UK, UK to India. India is the importing, here India is the exporting. So what is happening here? There is obviously no surplus. Surplus would have been if this would have been a smaller value, this should have been larger, correct? India being exporter should be greater than India being importer. India as an exporter should have been greater than India as an importer, then it would have been a surplus. So if it is not a surplus, then it is what? Deficit. Finish. So the difference is 15 billion, but in negative. That's why it's a deficit. Works, guys? Done? What are you saying, Akansha? You seem disturbed for some reason and you don't want to say what is that reason and you're trying to deflect that on this. We've already told you very clearly. On YouTube, we will be doing more series for previous year questions. But in the class, we will be teaching you how to read this. So the graph that we just read like this, how to read it like this is what is taught in the class. I hope that makes sense, okay? Let's go. Shall we move on? And for the last question, very simple, let's go. Among France and UK, so among France and UK, who has or have trade surpluses with US? So we have to compare both. We have to compare one with France and one with UK, okay? So France and UK with US we have to compare. Yes, with US. So this becomes our X in both the cases and this becomes our Y. So what do I have to do? I have to first check France as an exporter. France as an exporter sending to US becoming an importer. Compare this value with US being the exporter and France being the importer. Yes, same thing with UK. UK should be the exporter. UK should be the exporter and US would be the importer. Compare it with US being the exporter and UK being the importer. Works? This minus this if it is positive, then they have a surplus. This minus this if it is positive, then they have a surplus. Works? Yes. So can we start? France being the exporter, US being the importer is here. So 20% of some value is 6. This is how much? 30 billion. Yes. Next, to compare this with what? US being the exporter and France being the importer. This one. Yes, 30% is 5.5. 30% is 5.5. What would be 100%? That is 5.5 divided by 0.3. That's 55 by 3. 55 by 3, is it 30? No, it's lesser than 30. Do you agree, guys? This one is lesser than 30, yes or no? This calculation, 30% of the import value is 5.5 billion. So import value would be 5.5 divided by 30%, which is 0.3. This is nothing but 55 by 3. If this should have been 3, if this should have been 30, the numerator should have been 90. This is quite less. Agreed? How much would this be? About 18. Yes, close to 18. Would you agree, guys? I don't even need the actual value anywhere. except for the first question and the third question, we don't need the actual value anywhere. So this, do they have a surplus? Yes, they do have a surplus. Yes. So can I eliminate option A and option B, because France does have a surplus with US. So it could be either both France and UK or only France. So we'll check for UK now. Yes, let's check for UK. Again, UK to US, UK being the importer, UK being the exporter, US being the importer. This is 30% is 3, so 100% would be 10. Same way, US to UK, so US to UK is here. 20% is 2.5. 20% of the import value is 2.5. So import value is 2.5 by 0.2. That's nothing but 25 by 2, which is 12.5. So this is 12.5. Is this value larger than this? No. They do not have a surplus, they have a deficit. Clear, guys? Upper value should be greater than the lower value, surplus. Upper value is lesser than the lower value, deficit. Finish. So we know UK does not have it. That means option C is also gone. We have our survivor, option D, only France. Good. A and D. Very good, man. Athar, very good. Yes. Was this a difficult set, guys? No. With the 20 values that they gave, CAT normally doesn't do that, giving so much data. But when it does, it is not making you sit and calculate all the others, no? All the others we are not using only. We've used these 4 values only here. Here we've used only this value and this value, only 2 values here. Here we have used only 4 values. Here we have used only 1 value. So we are not using all 20. So Rahul, when you said that you make another column and do the calculation there itself, we don't need all 20 values. You're just saving time by not doing unnecessary calculation. In fact, if you were actually comfortable with getting the data directly from the chart, we wouldn't even have to sit and waste time for the table. We could have directly picked up the data from this chart, write and do it. But then it completely depends upon you what you are prioritizing there. Are you prioritizing comfort over time? Are you prioritizing accuracy over time? Once you answer those questions, you will be able to identify if you should make this table or no. Yeah? Got it, guys? Simple set. Should you, if you come across a set like this, should you take this up in the test? Of course, yes. Should it be in the very first attempt? You can. If you are comfortable with DI, I am comfortable with DI, I took it up. These calculations are no biggie for me. I brought the calculator, but I did not use the calculator anywhere at all. So I was comfortable with calculations, I picked up and did that. I realized I am not very good at picking data from the graphs directly, I made the table, you understand? So you have to take a call, what should your approach be? Making a table, yes or no? Using the calculator, yes or no? All your call. Yes? Kavya, yeah, sure, I'll get that. We will be doing another series there also. There I'll definitely bring it, okay? 4-5 minutes stops with, but yeah, that's it. That 4-5 minutes will technically become how much? Maximum 7-8 minutes. So you are investing another 3 minutes extra, 2 to 3 minutes extra to compensate for the accuracy, because you don't want to mess with the accuracy. One small value you make a mistake, no, while reading, one small value, if I make a mistake somewhere, instead of taking this as 30, if I end up taking this as 40, I'm doomed. Yeah, so then I can't blame on anything but my decision of not making a table. So that's why I went ahead and made the table, because I didn't want to get involved in these kind of headaches. I'd rather take the headache of the questions. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, so if you make the table, probably 7-8 minutes. If you don't, then 4-5 minutes. So you're saving about 2 minutes, but those 2 minutes you are investing for the accuracy. Hope that makes sense. Okay. Suraj, yeah, we will do that also. Yes. So I made a list of all these specific types of sets that you want. Yes, one was that on javelin, the other one is 4 set Venn diagrams, and you guys have put some more requests also in the previous videos. I'll take those into consideration and we'll bring a video soon. Okay. Yes. Yeah, that is a very annoying set, in fact, Kavya. Yes, year on year, ever since that set came, right, that has become a benchmark for annoying sets. Annoying for no reason. And the skip rate for that particular set was massive. And it deserves it also. But we will surely do that. Vandita, so don't do that, okay? Don't do that. That's why we are properly investing those 2-3 minutes to get the data right, so that we don't mess up with the calculations later. Okay, done guys? Ved, do you have a specific set in mind? That sounds like a very specific set. If you have that specific set in mind, send it to me on Telegram. I know I keep telling that to people, and then myself don't check the Telegram, but I'll try my best, man. Yeah. Sir, I'm able to do most sets in class and DPP, but in mock same set I get stuck at a deadlock. Dexter, I've made a video on the main channel, buddy. I have made a video on the main channel very specifically targeting that particular problem that you said. If you can watch that video, that would help me save time and redundancy also. Yeah. Done guys. Not able to solve more than 2 sets in mock. 2 sets is bad, told who? Suraj. Who told you 2 sets is less? 2 sets is really good, no? 2 sets with proper accuracy, you have 8 to 10 questions right. Bingo, man. You've already hit the jackpot. What do you want more? Yeah. Yeah, Bhavni. Only one set. We had only an hour in mind. I know if I bring another set, then we would have to extend this to 2 hours, which we can't. Yeah. Done, guys. Slot 3, we will be doing that, Atharv. Yes, we will be doing. Cheers, cheers. Wait. From day one, with you, I've been with you for more than 2 years, right? From day one, I've been urging people to analyze the questions. Sometimes analyzing them would seem like a tedious task and unnecessary task, but doing that gets you rid of all the doubts that you have in mind. No, you will have a clear conscience, a clear mind when you start with the set. That's always better. You are investing a little bit of time and not too much also. No, you'd hardly be spending 30 seconds or 45 seconds tops if the questions are too lengthy. Just do that. Invest. Yes, it's not spending, it's investing. Invest. Only if you invest, then you will get back. Okay. Okay guys, by the way, for people who are looking for a batch, the Independence Day is ending on the 18th of August. No, not the Independence Day, that's already over, but the offer for the Independence Day is ending on the 18th of August. If you're looking to join MBA Ignite or MBA Pioneer, these would be the right places for you. Okay. Are you not okay with what, Kavya? Vandita, we will be doing one every Monday, I'm assuming. Yeah. Cheers, man. Wait. Cheers, everybody. Thank you so much. Dexter, yes, we do have marathon plans. Yes, we will be targeting marathons real soon, where we'll be covering topic wise, I'm assuming. Right? I don't want to go paper wise. We'll figure it out. If we can go topic wise, then it'll be a better marathon, no, than going paper wise. So let's see. Alright, guys. Rahul made the video, buddy. You wanna see that video? Let me show you that video. Give me a second. I'm assuming you would be comfortable with a little bit of Hindi. So I have already made that video. Here it is. Yes, reason why your DILR score is not increasing. Yeah, please watch this, okay? Yes. Cheers, guys. It won't happen. Wait, when you make a when you make a very calculated risk, right, when you're doing a very calculated risk on it, then it completely depends upon the value of that calculation. You are not randomly jumping into a set. You've done all your calculations. It seems like a good set to jump into, then you jump into, and then if it doesn't work out, then it's your bad luck, right? But from our end, we've done all the calculations and then we've jumped into the well. That's the idea, okay? Hey Kavya, yeah, all good, man. Just a little bit of flu. Don't worry about it. It's okay. Thank you, guys. Done, guys. Go. Don't forget to have a look at this video. Yes, this will answer all of your queries with regards to mocks and why you're not scoring well or how much you're actually scoring and all that. And I had made another video also here on set selection. So if you're selecting the wrong kind of set, have a look at this. This video will help you guide how to select the right kind of set that will maximize your score. Yeah, and for people who are now starting to prepare or just have recently started to prepare, or even earlier if you've prepared, I've made another video on this channel, MBA Wallah English, where I have spoken about the 4-month plan. So you can have a look-see at this one as well. Okay. Yes. Yeah, Akansha, take a breather, beta. You are annoyed for some reason and you're trying to take it on me, on us. Identify what your problem is, yes, and then find the solution for it. What we are doing, the kind of sets that you're talking or the kind of questions that you're talking, we are just doing previous year questions which are any which ways available on the internet. Okay. These are previous year questions which are available on the internet, which you can also do at any point in time. Like a lot of people have already done this set. So don't try to deflect your anger on something else. If you have an actual genuine problem with anything, talk to us personally. Yes, I'll do everything in my power to help you out. Alright? Alright. I think most of your questions will get answered here itself. Yes, do have a look at these videos. Yes, I'll see you all soon in the next session. Okay. Cheers, everybody. Tata. Good night.